We're here with Cameron and Logan, the filmmaker and actor from House Sitter, which will be playing at the Brightside Tavern on Sunday. So we're excited for that. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, I can't even remember. We used to do Saturday and Sunday, but now it's just Sunday. So all
Thanks for having
day
me on, CJ.
long. Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see you again, Cameron. So how did you come up with the idea for this film?
Okay. It's a story. As Logan knows. The whole thing started with me trying to do an allegory about anxiety and stress. And I'm going to do this in the most crazy way possible and create a character that's very anxious and stressed, and create another character who's very cool, calm, and collective, and let them do something very stupid so that it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. And I was at a friend's play one night, and the whole bit there was that they think that they're carrying on this dead body and having to keep it a secret. And I was like, why don't I just do that? And so that was kind of the mixture of these two things kind of coming together. And so I started writing that, wrote it into a feature, spoke to my buddy Justin. We cut it down to a short, and then brought Logan and the other co-star Aaron on, and we kind of worked it into this fun, short but not very short film that it is today.
Oh, it's short. And so, Logan, how did you get involved with it?
I went to a premiere of a movie of somebody that I had known, and one of the people there had introduced me to Cameron. We started talking just about this idea. I thought the idea sounded super interesting. And then I knew Aaron from just like working together on other things, and I found out that he was a part of the project, and Cameron kind of asked me if I would be interested in it. And me and Aaron, just in the middle of this bar at like 11:30 at night, improv'd a scene from it. And Cameron was like, perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So let's make a movie together. And the rest is history.
Where did you guys film?
We filmed down in Jersey, so in Fairhaven, my hometown. Some stuff being at my parents' house, some stuff being on the docks, and even in Fairhaven Fields and stuff like that. So it's very local production.
Yeah.
At tradition to my other stuff up to that point and even through now, just sticking to the area, working with the council, having that great relationship that we have with the town, and just being the crazy group of people that us filmmakers tend to be when we make a movie. Yeah.
When did you actually film this? Was it before the pandemic-ish?
Yeah, it was. Actually, would have been right before the pandemic, or well, it's about 6 months. August of 2019.
Yeah, I had just graduated from college.
Yep, and I was about to move to Germany. I think I got like 3 weeks later, got the letter that I was moving out, and so I was in the middle of post-production. I went, well, I guess we're moving out then. I remember doing around like Christmas time, having phone calls with Vin, our scoring artist, like, all right, so this is how this music needs to be, and this, so like it was like in the middle of moving out to Germany. So this was one of the last projects I did, and I had just done a working year and worked in New York a lot on sets, and was lucky enough to meet people like Aaron and Logan and Miguel, our camera guy, director of photography, and just go from there.
Cameron, how was it working on was this a SAG project now?
It was my first. It's my first SAG project. It was stressful. I think that because the big thing that I always hear is like how terrible SAG can be for filmmakers, and they've gotten nicer over time. But I think the biggest thing was you're in the unknown, and I'm this scared like 18-year-old kid, like unsure what the heck is going on, and talking with people and hearing things like, oh, you need liability insurance, and I'm like, my dad has my health insurance. I don't know how that works. So just like trying to put everything together was a lot, especially for big.
And they keep changing things all the time.
Yep.
Non-stop.
Yeah, but so luckily, I think recently we shot another short film together. At that point, they had this like very easy, like it's under like a certain amount, and everyone's like friends, and therefore you can shoot it with no problems type of story.
So you got under that umbrella then, okay?
This one's not. So House Sitters was not. House Sitters.
Yeah, not House Sitters. The other one that we did the scene when I was in there somewhere.
Sit up, sees as Logan runs out, and CJ's like, what? Love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was great. Shout out to Justin who played our dead body for this. Getting heat stroke while playing the dead body for this and not being mad about it to this day. And then to the 2 fake dead bodies that I bought from a Halloween store so that we had something semi-realistic did when we were chucking things into the river. But that's
Logan, how was it trying to drag around a possible dead body-ish person?
Honestly, it was fun. I mean, this was just a really fun process to be a part of. It was a great character to get to play, and I just really love the entire process of getting to work with Cam and getting to put this little movie together.
Cameron, did you let them go off and go crazy some scenes?
Of course. I mean, so I gotta admit, so we had the script done, and then we workshopped this a lot for a couple, like 2 months or 3 months, I think, before we went to shoot. Especially because this is my first project with, professionals, and I was terrified. But Logan and I will sometimes talk about that. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I don't believe you understood how terrified I was back then. Just like going into New York and going to these like moments of just like us improvising and me being like, okay, so they actually know what they're doing, and I don't. But it was a pleasure. One of our favorite moments actually is an unscripted moment where Aaron and Logan are trying to grab this body from the river, and Aaron, who plays Clark, goes, "You're doing great! I believe in you!" And then Logan, just like in the midst of this, just turns back and goes, "I don't need your motivation!" And I feel like you can hear us just laughing. Or I think I literally covered my mouth at that point because I was like, this is too gold. Like, just having to get this on camera. But yeah, it's those moments that make the film, make it so entertaining and fun. So yeah, of course, let your actors be actors and they kind of know what they're doing once they're in the role.
Logan, you said you had graduated from college. Did you go to college for acting or something else? Or
I did not. I went to college for arts management and then screenwriting and playwriting, which was part of the reason I was really excited to kind of work on this with Cameron, is because it was the first opportunity to really. Cameron approached me and was like, I want to just like, we have something, but we kind of just want to restart and like see what we can come up with together. And so it was an opportunity to kind of flex both my acting and my writing. And it was a great time. We got to do a lot of really great collaboration with the rest of the cast. Shout out to Aaron, to Janine, to Tim, to Sam, to Carol, to Justin. It was such a great process to get to kind of work with everybody and come up with what we're gonna do and how we were gonna do it. It was awesome.
Would you be writing something that Cameron could direct?
Well, I mean, we might be working on a little feature version of this. We might be kicking that around, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I'm just fortunate to have such an amazing creative enjoy working with me. Because when I went up and said, all right, I want to make something else. And he's like, okay, when? Let me know when, so that I can make sure that we have the free time. And even, coming on as a producing partner and everything, it's a pleasure and joy to work with him and, see him succeed, not just in projects that we work on together, but outside of it is a joy because I know his talent, I know what kind of guy he is, and it's always a pleasure to have great people, rise up in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially here in Jersey making films, man, we got it. It's blowing up. So
yeah,
it's a crazy summer of TV and filming movies around here. So it's exciting. There's actually Netflix is probably moving in right next door to me here. Not the Brightside,
down in Monmouth County. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then Bayonne's got something going on. It's crazy. So we're excited. A lot of films. So
yeah.
Are you going to make more films home here in Fairhaven area, Cameron?
That is the plan. I mean, now that I'm more out here, I'm looking to diversify in that aspect. But that connection with the Fairhaven Council, to be able to work with them together, is so strong. I mean, recently in our last project, we were able to be the first production to shoot at Bicentennial Hall after they refurbished it for over 15 years.
Yeah, that was nice.
And to be that first group to be able to do something like that is, of course, an honor, and that the town trusted me in doing that is, of course, something very special. And so, yeah, of course, I don't see anything not going that way. Right project, right time is always a thing. I think right now I'm looking at doing some smaller things, getting ready to pitch some bigger things, and then hopefully Logan and I will be able to take the world by storm with some other cool projects together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Logan, how long have you been acting for? When did you, how did you get into it?
I started when I was 10. Professionally, I was like 12 or 13. So I've been doing this for between 15 and 13 years, depending on how you look at it. I got introduced to musical theater through a school program, Rosie's Theater Kids, which at the time was Rosie's Broadway Kids. Rosie O'Donnell's theater collective came to my school, and I fell in love with it, and just it became the thing that I wanted to do with my life. And the rest.
Have you done theater as well? Have you done theater?
Yeah, theater was where I started. I did a lot of off Broadway, and then I did some off Broadway. I flew out to Colorado and did a play out there for the Colorado Springs Fine Arts Center, and got to be a part of kind of their theater community. And theater has just been in my blood since I was born. My parents are both theater artists, and so I'm in love with theater. And whenever I get the chance to go back, it's always a joy.
Do you prefer doing some comedies though?
It depends on the mood. Sometimes comedy's fun, sometimes drama's fun. I did a comedy recently, and then before that was kind of comedic drama. So I'm kind of looking for something either serious or something really fun that I can do for a couple months. So we'll just see whatever comes down the line.
What about you, Cameron? The comedy sticking kind of with that, or are you like you're gonna go totally dramatic on us?
I don't know. I think right now it's always a mood thing. Like whatever I'm like ideas are coming up right now. I mean, the smaller things that I plan on doing right now are more comedic. As I said, we just shot something out here that's basically a parody of the Twilight Zone. It's like a little fun small project. Thinking about doing a comedy about what is the human touch and kind of like that separation in COVID and kind of how that kind of can become hilarious and overdone when you're separated but you're stuck in the same apartment together. So yeah, I mean, I'm right now on a comedy kick. I know last couple of I guess year and a half since House It Is, it was more drama, more personal stuff, but it kind of ebbs and flows, kind of wherever my mental psyche is.
And then the second one you guys worked together, that was kind of both-ish, right? Kind of comedy, but
yeah.
also
it was a personal story. So for that reason, I think for me it resonated more as a serious topic, especially because for me the message is serious about younger people running for office and having young people be involved in the political system.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were definitely some funny moments in there. And Logan does what Logan does and is brilliant in whatever role he takes. And I'm just lucky to be able to direct him every once in a while.
How is Logan? How is acting during the strong pandemic times, like when we were doing this every day?
It was tough. I was lucky enough to be a part of Stranger Things during that process, and so I kind of had a light at the end of the tunnel. But it was definitely weird having such a slowdown. I spent a lot of my time writing. I fell in love with this kind of idea, and so I was working a lot on kind of a feature version of this and kicking that around, and then working on a thriller that I've been writing myself for a while. And so a lot of it transitioned from acting to writing during that whole process. And now to be back acting feels really good, and it feels really rewarding to kind of be out of this Zoom sphere. I did a play during Zoom. I did a Zoom play.
Oh wow!
That we filmed and edited and put together for a charity organization called BEAM, the Black Emotional and Mental Health Coalition. We put together for that, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I lost you guys there for a second. Oh, but I don't know what that was. That was weird. That never happened. But I think they're starting to work downstairs again. So I was like, oh no,
losing the internet.
Yeah. So it's and on set now, is it getting a little bit better? Because I know with SAG and all that, you got still the same rules.
I mean, it is what it is. We're making it work.
Well, it looks like my internet. I don't know what's going on. I think they're doing something, so it's like in and out now, which is crazy because it's always good. I have like super internet here.
The one day, you need it.
Yeah,
the one moment, it was like we were good, and then Logan joined the call. Come on, Logan.
Will be like it's like moving around and freezing now. All of a sudden, it's weird. I've never had that. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now he froze. So, we got most of it in though. Got most of it in. Yeah. So I guess if we get him back to, he's frozen right now. Are you frozen?
I'm still here as long as you can hear me.
So but it was weird. It was weird. Maybe if he exited out and comes back in, maybe that will
we'll see.
Maybe because otherwise he's frozen. So just there.
Now that he's not there, I'll take the time to tell you guys how amazing Logan is some more. Or I'll just bash him. We'll see.
So it was a fun project, and it was fun.
You know what? For me, it was the first big project ever. It was a pretty decently sized budgeted film with all of the SAG and the nice cameras and everything. As I said, our director of photography Miguel had also kindly come on a set, and we shot it very nicely, and I was very proud of it. Still am. It's from a while back, right? We're talking almost about 3 years now.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I see your name twice though.
No, down below, but that's all right. He's not twice up there.
I'm not on the screen twice.
You're on the screen once and you're loading, but your name is on there twice. I love it. I love how the internet works.
I know, right? But usually StreamYard's really good and strong. That's why I usually use it. But I guess it's something went weird with the internet all of a sudden. Maybe there's storms in the area. Who knows?
Logan, how's the new apartment? How's the internet there?
I mean, we just got our 5G hooked up, so I should be fine.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I always had trouble, and when I was teaching at home, I'm like my internet was not great, so I upped it to the highest I can get. So my internet should usually be pretty good here. So,
hopefully, we're good for the rest of our
I pay money. They better give it really good. So, but I had to teach. I teach film in high school. I had to teach for like a year and a half online. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
Film. I taught film online. I was like, could not wait to get back into the classroom. So
that's the thing that you can't teach online.
Yeah, being in person is just needed.
Yeah, and it's just, it was also a weird year this year, but we got through. We did well, and I just can't wait actually to go back, which is weird. Like I can't wait to go back and be normal again.
Yes.
So yeah, so we're excited to have the film play. We have we usually do 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and the student films are usually a Saturday, but we're doing it all at one day.
Great.
So Cameron, you're gonna miss that. We're all gonna be there in the same day.
Sadly, I cannot join. My flight's about a week later. Yeah. But hopefully, hey CJ, maybe we'll have an in-person podcast next time while I'm in the States.
There you go. We can do that because I do work at a podcast studio, so we can do that whenever.
We'll go out there and shoot it.
Absolutely. We have 2 studios. There's one in Homedale, which is a cool new one, and then there's one in Red Bank. So
love it. Red Bank's great.
A lot of fun. There's a lot of things going on. Or there's also Smodcastle now, Kevin Smith's Smodcastle.
Yes. So excited for Clerks 3.
Yeah, you'll see me in it. I'm in it.
Nice.
I'm in it. I guess I can't say where I'm in it now. I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it, but it's fun. I got a couple days on it, so it was really cool. Like when I was a little young person, I worked for Kevin as an intern, and 20 something years later, he directed me in his movie, which is really cool.
It's amazing.
So it all comes full circle, right?
It really does.
It happens.
So that was really cool to be filming Clerks 3 back here in New Jersey last summer. So, but it's good. And then Walking Dead was filming here the other day. So we got some really cool stuff going on in New Jersey.
Nice.
Love it.
That was like my favorite show, Walking Dead. So I got 8 more episodes of that. So
shout out to the commission who's doing their job. Yeah,
they're rocking it, right? So I'll be knocking on their door. I got some scripts in my head too, so I got to write them.
Yeah.
Reach out to David, So
Yeah, absolutely. He knows. He knows. But I'm like, I got. Everyone's like, I got all these ideas, and I keep saying it, and everyone's like, "Did you write it?" I'm like, "No." I gotta write it.
That's but
Being lazy.
so that's like my biggest mantra is like, because Logan, you have the same thing, right? How many people have come up to me like, I have this idea, let's do it, and then it ends up being that you're more invested in the idea than like the other person is, and I'm just, oh man, it's heartbreaking to the one because then you get invested in the project, and the other side, it's like just do it.
Yeah.
Like, just stay up till
Get it
5 in the
done.
morning and write. And I know it sucks for the next like 3 days because then you've been up till 5 in the morning. But like then you have something.
Have
You know,
something and go make it.
that's
Yeah.
what for the last project that we did, right? It was a very last minute thing, and I was like, all right, we're gonna write this. 6 hours later, I wrote a 5-page script, sent it to a friend, like, hey, can you just check this over? And then 2 days later, we're shooting. Like it's all about the rhythm. It's all about feeling how you do as an artist. And I think what Housers especially taught me was that it's not always about the big projects that you do, because it's all the smaller ones that kind of lead up to it that kind of train you.
Absolutely.
And it's the big ones that test you. And I think we were successful with House Sitters. I think it's a great show of what, especially for that time, what I was able to do. And it was the start of a couple of really cool relationships that I'm very happy to still have today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and working with those guys again, right? So that's pretty cool, right?
Hey, look, what was it? Knocking. We had Logan, Miguel, myself, and it was cool. It was cool having us three back together, and we even have a couple of photos of just sitting on my street, just like standing there and taking a photo together. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So, other than the Brightside and with your two films out there, you got any other film festivals coming up?
Not at the moment. Knocking is still technically in post.
Okay.
We're basically done with it, and I'm going to start worrying about festivals soon. I've been finishing up my bachelor's degree over the recent months, and so I had to write a very long paper. Ended up being over 30 pages long, so just like, as I can show it to you guys here, it's all bound and stuff with my, so all nice. Thank you. And yeah, it's lovely. I love it. I'm very proud of it, and it's about a personal topic of mine. So that took a lot of time and getting into whatever next chapter of a master's degree or whatever comes next. So that's where my focus has been at the moment. But now I have some free time, as I was saying to you earlier, CJ, working on some pitch decks, trying to get that stuff
Let's make
ready.
a movie when you get back.
100%. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Always down. And I'm just, I'm excited that it's looking like it's the start of a cool career for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful that I'm able to have amazing people around me that are help me enable that. So.
Awesome. And Logan, what are you working on any projects right now?
I just did a secret short form series that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but that I'm really excited about.
Cool.
So hopefully that's coming out soon. I'm directing a web series of my own that's hopefully coming soon. And then I'm talking to a director about getting a feature that I wrote, produced. So there's a bunch of things, kind of a bunch of balls in the air, and we're just seeing which one gets caught first.
Do you travel a lot back and forth to each coast?
No, I stay in New York. New York is my place. And I'm happy to be here. I mean, New York, New Jersey is really where it's at right now. And so
it's growing. Like I said, it's growing. Everyone's coming here, right? So
yeah.
It's great. I was just on a production the other day for a day. I had a blast. It was so much fun.
Awesome.
And and then I was watching them film the Isle of the Dead. I was just like, because it's in Homedale, so I was like sitting back watching, going, I got to get on this. Just enjoy watching them make movies. That's it.
Yeah.
It's an addiction. I do it for a living. I teach it. So.
And you know what? It helps feed, at least for me, like being on set or around sets and knowing that like movies are being made helps feed my creativity.
For sure.
That's what I love about Potsdam out here. It is film all the time. Like I was on my campus and I literally saw like film trucks out there, like on the other side of campus. I was like, yeah, that's about right. Like that's what we're doing today. Keanu Reeves is out here for almost a year shooting the new John Wick and new Matrix film. So that's the kind of cool things that I get to hear about out here and kind of see and experience, and it helps you, it feeds you, and it kind of brings you that energy. And besides being cool with friends with all these cool other creative people and getting to work off of their kind of creativity and creating your own, it helps, just being surrounded by all the ideas.
And we're hoping everyone go see Clerks 3 when it comes out. So if that does well, Mallrats 2 is next.
Yeah.
Okay. Excited.
We'll see. That's the plan.
A dream.
That's plans. So, but yeah, so you guys have anything you want to promote? Where can we see some of your work out there, or websites or anything before we leave?
I have one thing that I wanted to say, because I wanted to make sure that I got it out there, is that, like, of course I got to be the lead in this particular film. But the process is not possible for Cameron and I without anybody else that we got to work with. And so I just wanted to say, like, super shout out to Aaron Della Villa, Janine Bartel, Tim Riabudo, Carol Santiago Medina, Justin Chapman, and Sam Gray. They are all fantastic. They're amazing scene partners. I'm so excited for you guys to all get to see our scenes together. It's an amazing process. Cam knows the names of all the crew and people. I focus on the actors.
Piggybacking off of that, thank you to Miguel, to Dennis, to Yulia, our amazing camera team, which was our one Latin American and two Russians, to Patrick, who did audio, who, as much as this was new for him, he was working his darnest to work on the very terrible equipment that I gave him. To Zach Rogers, who was our AD on set and kind of helped keep everything in line. Am I forgetting anyone else? Oh yeah, my aunt Phyllis Levy, who helped give us food for the second day. My parents, who are always executive producers, because without them nothing can ever get made. And of course the town of Fairhaven, who make sure that we do things as well. I know there's others in there. Nick,
you got a lot. You got a lot in there.
We were a big crew for that shoot.
A lot of great
and
people.
Every single one of them was amazing, and I couldn't have done it without them, especially all the amazing PAs that we had that helped make sure that our store was set up and stopped being a vet and became a store and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's a small world too, though, because I remember being on set night, and there was with the one girl that was working on it for that one day or whatever, who I worked on with something else and everything like that. And I'm like, such a small world, the film world, such a big world, but small world. So, you never know.
For sure.
You never. So it's pretty cool moments when you see that. Like, oh yeah, we worked on this years ago or this, and I saw you here or whatever. Like, what are you doing here? So that happens quite often. But
it's great. I love it. Because you become a close-knit family, and it's one of the best feelings in the world, I feel.
So Cameron, I know some of your older stuff that you did. Is it out there? Can we?
Yeah.
Can we
so
see
Capcom Productions is my production company. The YouTube channel, youtube.com/Capcom Productions. You can see some of our good shorts, some of our bad shorts, some of our crazy things that we've done all throughout the last, I think it's 8 years is the first thing that I posted up on there.
Really?
So, I have a couple of things that we still got lined up that we're still editing that we're going to push straight to YouTube. So just follow our socials on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Of course, my personal account is at Cameron Spector Official. So if you ever want to see photos of me on set, and I'll shout out for Logan at Black Wolves, because they have an amazing podcast. They do amazing content, and I love working with those guys. Jeremy did score for Knocking, and Jake is another great guy, and the whole collective out there. They're doing some great work, and they're having a great message of trying to get creatives seen. And so I got to give them a shout out for that.
You said you had a podcast too, Logan? Is that?
Yeah, I run a production company called Black Wolves Productions. We've been on a break because we've all been moving, but now we're getting started again. So you can follow us there on Instagram, the YouTube, TikTok. And then I'm just at Logan Riley Brunner. So if you're looking for more stuff from me, it's fairly easy to find.
See his amazing fan art from Stranger Things. It is absolutely amazing the kind of stuff that gets sent to. Oh, yeah.
People send it to you and then you put it up?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, that's the one hell of a season, huh?
Oh, yeah. It was super exciting.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So dark. I love the darkness. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's great talking to you guys. And, yeah, so I will get this up there sometime tomorrow after I come home from the Met game. So, not today, it's not happening today, but it was great to get you guys in here. And I did about like 20 something interviews, which is good. I mean, we have like 78 films we're playing on Sunday.
Nice.
Nice.
78. So, yeah. So, and then we're doing the student films and then a little award show for the students. And then we go on from there. So,
Awesome.
Perfect.
Excited to hear how everything goes.
absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks so much, CJ, for having us on.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I appreciate you.
if you win anything, I'll have it for you, Cameron, in a week when you come back.
I can, if you want to, I can phone in a thank you speech if you really want me to phone. Yeah, you just gotta like text me, hey, you
Call
won
in.
something, and I
Put
will
the phone up to the
literally-
microphone.
or I'll try to get. I'm trying to get someone to be at the festival to represent. So let's see who has time because everyone's busy. You know, Logan being Logan, and
Yeah,
Things are
Justin,
crazy.
of course,
kind of crazy.
So,
That's the way it
the
is.
industry is crazy, and so you know, but we're just happy to be there. We're happy to show this short that
Yeah, it should be a lot of people.
deserves his recognition, and hopefully, you know, as Logan said, and as I've said, we have potentially a feature in mind. So we're hoping that, you know, it attracts enough people that it might be interesting.
You know, it'd be really funny if you get the guy from Weekend at Bernie's, he played the dead body, to do a cameo in your feature.
That would be hilarious.
Oh,
That'd be hilarious. That'd be great.
Because he does cons all the time. I see him all the time. You could be like, dude, we'll pay you for a day and just do a cameo. He would do it. He's getting old, but he's still going.
Still kicking.
Love it.
Awesome. Yeah. So great talking to you guys, and good luck with everything, and hope to see you soon.
That's
Thanks,
cool,
CJ. Good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
All right. See ya.